Hello everybody, we're going to run through another video today. Today I just want to talk on a little bit of how the 2024 and how my progress on eBay sort of skyrocketed within 12 months. Because the other day obviously it's tax coming up and I needed to get my tax books ready, and I was going through my bank statements and I just realised my business account, like the jumps it was making last year, the money in, not money I was taking home, but the money the business was bringing in every month. If I can, I'll pop it up on screen. If it doesn't show any of my personal details, I will. But yeah, as you can see, it starts off, I haven't put it up. If I haven't put it up, this is a bit awkward, but it starts off at the start of the year like £1,000, and then the next month is like 2,000, then it's 3,000, then it's 5,000, then it's 8,000. I just keeps jumping and jumping and jumping. And I saw that the other day and it was super motivating, and it just made me reflect on sort of how did I actually do that and how can I do it again, sort of. But just more importantly, how did I actually do that? Because over the course of a year, everything sort of blends and gets mushed in your head, and sort of you kind of lose track of how you actually did that. So I've written down some notes and I'm just going to talk about all the little processes and all the things that helped me sort of build that up over the course of a year. I don't claim to be an expert. My numbers aren't that great compared to some people's, but I'm pretty proud of them, especially what I've done in a year. So let's get on to it. The number one thing that really saved my business and allowed me to grow was getting ruthless with things like death piles. I've recently redid it, funny enough. I made a video a couple days ago, so probably about a week ago now, going over my death pile and the fact that I had a death pile and the fact that it was really hindering my business, and the fact that it needed to go. So that was the number one thing. Did it about a year ago, and then I did it again recently. But when I did it a year ago, it was so much worse. I made a video on it then as well. And the ways I got rid of it was just get really ruthless. So charity shops, I just started taking stuff to charity shops. What else did I do? I just started chucking stuff in the bin if it was really bad, which is rare. I usually just dropped it off at one of those bins that you put stuff in, they turn it into rags and stuff. And the number one way, the most efficient way in terms of making the most money was Whatnot. I signed up for Whatnot. I understand that most people won't want to do Whatnot because in front of a camera live it's not great. I was a bit nervous at the start, but you do get used to it and you can make some good money just for liquidating your stock. It was all stuff I didn't care about. It was all stuff that owed me nothing, and it was just sat there. I got £1, £2, £3 a piece, but yeah, it really allowed me to build up sort of £400-500, where I was then able to go and buy better stock with to churn that money over. Massive, absolute massive. Looking back, that was one of the best things I did for this business. And that brings us on to the second part of how I grew and made progress. Was once I had that £300-500 of Whatnot money, I only started buying stock once I was confident with what I was buying. So around that time I joined Tech and Sports' group. This isn't a plug for that, but if you're not in it, join it. And I started learning brands, and I started learning how to learn, sort of thing, how to research, how to understand if something's worth buying, little nuances within products, and understanding that not everything sells on eBay, and how you can learn if something does sell. So learning things like sell-through rate, learning things like how to check prices properly and not just sort of guessing. Because before I'd pick up, let's say I'd pick up a Ben Sherman checkered shirt, long sleeve Ben Sherman checkered shirt. I'd look on the comps, I'd say, oh, that one's similar, sold for £20. Oh, that one's similar, it sold for £15. So I'd list mine for 17. Excellent, right? You'd think, oh, that will sell eventually. But if you look deeper, a Ben Sherman checkered shirt sells for like £8 with free shipping at the best. Yeah, they're not great. Maybe something a bit more unique might, but yeah. But yeah, I didn't understand that not everything sells, and you've got to do a bit more digging. You can't just take the best comps and just go off that. Super important to know what you're selling, how much that's going to sell for, and how quickly it's going to sell for, especially if you're in a limited space or you have limited cash, because you need that money to be back in the bank account to go again with. You can't be sat on stock. It's going to slow you down. It's going to hinder you from buying more stuff, especially when the car boots come. You want to be getting that stuff in and out of your business. You don't want to be like suffering for no cash for the car boot sales, because they're every week. They come thick and fast in the summer. And yeah, you don't want to be stranded with a load of stock and not being able to reinvest that money. You need it up, listed and sold again by the next Saturday, really, so you can just keep on churning that money over and over again. Linking into the last one, the third point is really committing to research. Research is something I hate. I really find any admin or anything like that, I hate it. I get easily distracted. I'm dyslexic, so I can't read great. it really bores the crap out of me. But really committing to it and just doing a little bit here and there when you get, like, ironically, when you get bored, just jump on there, do a little bit, search the comps, look at the expensive brands, try and do a little bit, try and learn some keywords, just stuff like that. Just little things. If you can just try and pick up one thing a day or once a week. At the minute, I'm really not doing like this great, so I'm really being a bit hypocritical here. I'm really bad at this at the minute, but I'm trying to just jump on every now and again and check out some keywords, or just try and pick something up from someone. Maybe it's a fabric, maybe it's a whatever niche you're in, I don't know. But yeah, just really committing to research and giving it the time it needs to actually learn stuff, because you don't just learn it by not doing it. Yes, you do kind of, because if you're around the charity shops researching brands, that's another way of researching, but a lot of the times we don't do that. The best way to research is on the eBay app, in the sold comps, looking at stuff. If you're, let's say you're in the clothing niche, what I would recommend doing is typing in men's jumpers, then go into the sold, and you can filter it by price. So I would filter it, say £25 and up, and then look at solds and just look at all the brands that are selling at that sort of price, note them down, write them in the notepad, and then go back through them and check the sell-through rates on them. If you don't know what sell-through rate is basically how quick something sells within the 90 days. How you work that out is, if I take a breath, let's say that it's basically comparing how many comes up in the solds versus how many comes up in the listed. So if there's 100 in the listed column and there's 100 in the sold column, that has 100% sell-through rate, meaning if you list yours up for the similar sort of market value price-wise, you're probably going to sell it within the 90-day period, given you have a good listings, good photos, good keywords, and all that fun stuff. But hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, let's get on to the next point. The next point is having a SKU system. As you can see behind me, I've got a load of boxes that look very ugly, but they are very efficient. I'm going to pick some orders whilst I talk through this point, because I want to show you how efficient this really is at finding your orders. So, order number one, as you can see, I just picked one order. A lot of people don't have a SKU system. When I first started, I didn't have a SKU system, and it absolutely killed me. And to be fair, if you didn't know about SKU systems or think they were important, you wouldn't have one, because why would you? You know, you're just not going to know the difference. But once you do get a SKU system in, you realise and you start to think, how did I ever manage to find any orders? Yeah, it just makes life so much quicker. I can pick orders really easily. What I basically do is put my number on there and then put that in the custom label section on eBay, and you can super quickly find your orders. Yeah, it's one of those little things where it can be easily overlooked if you're new to it. And most recently, the really important one for me has been creating a daily routine. I haven't needed a routine to make sure I get my jobs done, because I've always got my most important jobs of the day done, like my photos and my listings and my packaging, because that's what pays the bills. And if I don't do it, I don't pay the bills. The reason the routine has been so good for me recently is because it stops you wasting time. I come in the mornings, and for me, I like to get my listings done immediately. So I'll get my listings done, and then I'll crack on with sniping on vintage, which is how I mainly source. But yeah, if I don't do that, sometimes I'll sit and procrastinate and waste 1 or 2 hours. Quite easily done when you have YouTube right there, and no boss to tell you what to do. So for me, I always get the hardest job done first, which, no I don't, I tell a lie, second hardest job is the listing, and then at the back end of the day, I get my photos done for the next day. So that's how I do it. I'm not saying that's the best way of doing it, but yeah. And as for packaging items doesn't take me very long at all. It takes me 10 minutes max, so I just fill that in when I fancy it. So that's how I do it. That's how I do my daily schedule. Yours will be different depending on niches and sourcing routines and daily schedules and picking up the kids and all that fun stuff. But yeah, definitely try and pick something out where you prioritize your most important task and set yourself up to win at the start of the day. So the reason why getting your listings done is so important, and I've been caught with this, is getting your listings done straight away is so important, because it only takes one thing to pop up in the afternoon, an emergency, or someone needs you somewhere, or there's a power cut, or whatever it is, something's just so unexpected. Maybe the internet goes down, and bang, that's your eBay day gone. But those things might happen in the morning, but you have the afternoon. So, but if you get them done straight away, you're within the clear for the next day. So it's It's a win-win. Get those done. Yeah, you thank yourself later. Also puts your mind at rest that you've got that done, and now you can sort of not chill out, but you've got the boring stuff done, so you can just sort of have a free mind and not worry about having to do the boring jobs. Yeah, going back to what I said at the beginning with my bank statement, hopefully I was able to put that up. I'll try and put it up somehow. I might have to blur some stuff. But yeah, I was super proud of that. I don't know if I'll be able to replicate that again this year. I'm hoping I can. It might not be as drastic a jumps because I'm already somewhat at scale, right? Listing 12 a day is different from when I was listing 4 a day, which is where I started this year. Well, I actually started below that, and then around March time I think I started listing 4 a day. But yeah, it shows that in a year, if you really stay consistent, you can really compound your business, because that everyday effort. And to be honest, last year I didn't work that hard and I managed to make quite a bit of progress. So yeah, I'm trying to knuckle down this year with these new systems, with all these things I've learned over the last year, trying to implement this year, and hopefully we can win again. But yeah, I'm going to end this video now. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. I don't know, I don't have any subscriber goals anymore. I used to say we're trying to get to 2k, but we smashed that now, so thank you very much for that one. I haven't said it yet, this is my first video I'm recording this year, so happy new year. Hope you had a good Christmas, hope you had a good break. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.